Hello, my name is Mercury, and welcome to this brand new episode of Media Fae. Today, I'm alone. Today, I'll be discussing the trailer for Transformers 1. Not, not 2007 movie, but the new movie that's named Transformers 1. God fucking damn it. Who. I have no idea who decided to name this this movie Transformers 1. I feel like it's a stupid title. I don't know if it had a different title. I feel like it did. I'm gonna check it right now. I feel like Transformers 1 had a different title. Than tell the whole okay. Yeah, a new generation. It was called the New Generation, and that was for a while. It was called the New Generation. So then it was changed to Transformers 1. And that is stupid. I feel like a new generation didn't make that much sense because this is not a sequel to anything. This is a prequel. So by definition, the name Transformers 1 makes sense, but it doesn't make sense because it doesn't make sense as well because you are also confusing it with the first Transformers movie from 2007, and nobody's gonna be confused. Nobody's really gonna get confusing it with the 1986 movie, which is just Transformers the movie, the Transformers movie. So yeah, no, like you're just confusing people. Oh, you're talking what you're now you can't say Transformers 1 like to call that a 2007 movie. You have to call it Transformers 2007, and you have to call this one Transformers 1. That's stupid. I would have preferred New Generation or something like Origins, even something as plain as Origins or Cybertron Origins or something like that. I don't know. Maybe if I can reuse the War for Cybertron subtitle for the 50th time. Who knows, right? Just anything other than Transformers 1, I feel like could have been a better. It could have been a better title to this movie. But anyways, we got what we got, and it's gonna stick as Transformers 1 for the entirety of its lifespan, and everyone's calling it Transformers 1 anyway. So yeah. Anyways, to give some background, Transformers 1 is an animated movie. It is the first CG animated Transformers movie, theatrical. I have to specify because I know that I just mentioned the 1986 movie, and people are saying this is the first animated Transformers movie to be released in theaters, and that is just not the case. There have been animated Transformers movies to come in CG, such as Beast Hunters. Or no, it's like Beast Rising or something. I forgot what it's called. Transformer. It's Transformers Prime. Transformers Prime. Beast Hunters Predacons. Predacons Rising. Right. It's so that one is the fucking hell. That one was one of the first. That's one of the CG animated Transformers movies. So, but that wasn't released. That was not released in. That wasn't released in theaters. That was released on DVD and Blu-ray. But that is. But you know that is one of them. So this is the first CG animated Transformers movie to come out in theaters. It's like it's very specifically the first of that. Like, so yeah, I do appreciate that we're seeing an animated Transformers movie theatrically. We haven't seen that in quite a while. I'm not sure if Predacons Rising was one of the last. I think Predacons Rising was one of the last CG animated Transformers movies to like ever come out, pretty much. So yeah, I feel like it's very, very cool, but you know. So you know what about this movie? Like what about this movie? We was coming out this September, so I feel like we should just jump right into discussing the trailer as a whole. So just providing some background on it. It's the first CG animated Transformers movie to come out in theaters. Very cool. We haven't seen, like I said, we haven't seen that in quite a while, and we have not seen an animated movie from the Transformers in almost 40 years. So, very cool to see this. It's coming out for the 40th anniversary of Transformers, so again, nice. And it's, you know, it's a movie that's coming out right after Rise of the Beast. So very cool. After not having a movie for 5 years, we now have two movies in a little over, you know, like a little over like a year, you know, like. Yeah, we got quite a bit. We also have some series out a little, but sometimes, but yeah. So we only got Earthspark to really talk about there. So let's just talk about it, you know. Okay, so Transformers 1. Let's start off with what I actually want to talk about, like as one thing I want to mention before we go into speculation and all that stuff. The animation and voices. So. The voices, I'll talk about later, that's the second one, but the animation looks incredible. I have no idea how they, well, I know they did it. ILM is working on this movie, which, you know, Industrial Light and Magic, the people who legitimately pioneered everything because they made Star Wars. So that's cool. They literally made Star Wars a reality. Let me see. Okay, so they made Star Wars like a reality, and they animated this movie, and it looks incredible. I can't stress it enough. This animation is fantastic, and it's on a Transformers animated movie, which is insane to think about. That Transformers got this treatment of having one of the best animated movies, looking animated movies, to come out in recent years. Insane to think about. I love how the animation looks, and you know, it's all I gotta say. Like, it's very like metallic. Obviously, it's metallic, but they do the metallic stuff very well. It doesn't, like, sure, you think it looks shiny, but it's not like overly shiny. So I thought it's like very cool. It looks just how it should be. And the cool thing is that sometimes we do have sometimes fucking hell, what was I talking about? Not even sometimes. What was I talking about? I was gonna mention how there's like a vaporwave stuff. Like, I love how they implement, like, they have some vaporwavy aesthetics in the service of Cybertron, and that looks very cool. The faces of the characters are emote very well, and that's very cool. So I love how the animation looks, and the characters look good. Like, they look like that, like the characters. So yeah, no, I feel like we're in good hands with the animation. And another thing I want to talk about that I mentioned earlier is the voices. Now, there are some people but when we went into this, people were kind of skeptical about the casting of Chris Hemsworth as Orion Pax. So, how does he do? To be honest, it is a bit weird hearing him do an American accent, or, well, technically having no accent at all. But it is the American accent. It is weird hearing him do that, and sometimes it does slip. I guess sometimes you do hear like the natural gravel of his voice slip through, but he sounds like a young Optimus. Like, he sounds like it, and I feel like he did a great job here. Sometimes his accent slips, but it's not enough to distract me. And I feel like a lot of people do like the fact that I think people like Chris Hemsworth's voice here. So Chris Hemsworth sounds really good. Like, he's very convincing. And he does not sound like Chris Hemsworth at all. To be honest, he does not sound like Chris Hemsworth in any sense of the word. He just doesn't. It's insane. But yeah. So to other people, like like Keegan-Michael Key is fine as Bumblebee, and Scarlett Johansson is fine as Alita 1. I don't have problems with them. They don't have like Bumblebee and Alita 1 don't, especially Alita 1 don't have concrete voices, like things to emulate. So you can, it's fine if you. It's fine. Like, they don't have to sound like a specific character or something like remotely close, because they don't have to emulate that. So yeah, they're doing fine. Something else that I want to talk about is Brian Tyree Henry as Megatron. So this one is a bit weird. So he does not change at all throughout the entirety of the trailer. It's very much just Brian Tyree Henry as Megatron. It sounds like Jefferson Davis from Into the Spider-Verse, because he is the same voice actor. Like, he plays that character. So he does sound kind of the same. It's a bit off-putting, but I feel like we will see we will see him change his voice. Brian Tyree Henry has a voice that I feel like he has range. I feel like he's a man that has range in his voice acting. So I feel like when when D16 becomes Megatron, I feel like that's when he's gonna shine. I feel like that's when his voice is gonna shine. So yeah, no, I like the voices right now, but you know, that some maybe a lot of people like don't give them that much slack. I feel like don't you know, like people should cut them some slack. Like the voice actors here. Sure, they're not primarily voice actors, but that doesn't mean that they can't voice act. Especially Brian Tyree Henry, who has done voice acting before, and people, you know, I don't know if people like the voice acting of Jefferson Davis, but I haven't heard any complaints about it. So I feel like it's something that, you know, that can, you know, that will improve when he becomes Megatron, because right now he's just D16. He's not like Megatron, you know. So yeah, moving on. Nothing I want to talk about is the humor of the movie. A lot of the jokes don't land. You know, like Bumblebee has the badass Tron joke. I'm not even gonna try because my voice is actually trying to kill me right now. It might not sound like it, but my voice has, I feel, the slightest singe of like my voice just going, just turning off. You can probably see like those like little breaks in my voice. Yeah, that's probably why. So I'm not gonna do the badass trumpet as much as I want to. But the badass Tron joke, it's fine. Another joke is that Bumblebee running away. That's actually kind of funny. I feel a little. But a lot of jokes don't land, and people are like very worried that the jokes will not land and will kind of take away from the movie, because the movie itself is dealing with something that is very that's like very important, very serious in the Transformers lore. We are seeing what will eventually become the start of the Cybertronian War. This one does focus on the Quintessons, but if what's said is true, Transformers 1 is, I think that that it will become a trilogy. And that I think in this movie he also becomes Optimus Prime. I think Orion Pass becomes Optimus Prime, and we will see him become Peter Cullen. Like, he will have the Peter Cullen voice. Also, I just noticed on the Wikipedia page, Steve Buscemi is listed as the film's antagonist, but like, I thought we knew he was Starscream. Like, I'm pretty sure that he was confirmed to be Starscream. Let's see here, where is it? They have to say something about it. But if he is playing, maybe he's playing the Starscream, maybe he's playing one of the Quintesson leader. I have no idea. I thought he was voicing Starscream, but I don't know. So yeah, no, but the humor. So I'm fine. It's fine, but like, I don't know. Like, people, it would be kind of a lot to ask of the creators to make an animated serious take, an animated theatrical movie on with a serious take on the start of the War for Cybertron, when we kind of already had that with the War for Cybertron trilogy, which is fucking like I don't like it. I don't like the War for Cybertron trilogy. It's not my favorite one. It's not my favorite Transformers series, but it is definitely one of them. I was gonna review it here on the podcast, but I might straight up not do that. So yeah. Yeah, I guess we already had our serious take on the War for Cybertron. Now we're seeing this. But I hope it does get serious. I feel like it will probably have serious moments, because hello, D16 becomes Megatron at some point. Like, it's going to be serious at some point. It's gonna get serious at points, definitely. But yeah, let's go into the actual speculation of this and so my question is, since we see Megatron grab with the Decepticon insignia and him becoming Megatron, I'm asking, how will Decepticons form? So it seems like he will take, like, I think we will go to the Tomb of the Primes and see, and he will take the face of Megatronus and make that the Decepticon symbol. I'm honestly fine with that origin, because Megatron does take from Megatronus his name. So I'm fine with this, with him taking the insignia from Megatronus as well. But like, we see Soundwave, Shockwave, we see Starscream, Darkwing, which I think is called Darkwing. But we see him here. So yeah, like, there's a lot of Decepticons that I guess would eventually join Megatron, but it's gonna be very interesting to see how these Decepticons actually form throughout the movie. I'm pretty sure that it'll be like that we will see the Decepticons form with the we will see the Decepticons form fucking when we will see the Decepticons form when fucking when at the end of the movie, fucking hell, and when like eventually, like, at some point they will rebel against the government, against the Cybertron government, and Megatron, they will have different ideas of what to do, and that's when they will diverge, and that's when the Decepticons will form. I feel like that'll be at the end of the movie, because if they are going for a trilogy, I think this movie will be the start of the war, then of course then the next one is during the war, like the proceedings during the war, and then the last one will be the Exodus, will be them leaving for Earth. Also, something I gotta say is that I like that this is technically an origin story for the new universe, but it's also separate, so they can tell their own storylines. But it's very much in line with the Bumblebee universe, because Bumblebee is still B-127. But yeah, I do like that that it's sort of separate, so they can tell their own storyline if they want. Yeah. So my next question is how they're gonna fit so many characters. Apparently, we're gonna see a lot of characters from. We already saw Darkwing. That's a very we already saw Darkwing. That's a very, I think he's called Darkwing or something like that. or like Dread. I don't know if that's Dreadwing. Let me look it up. Hold on. I am correct. That is supposed to be Darkwing. But yeah, so so they're gonna see a lot. If they put in Darkwing, we're gonna see a lot of different characters, and we're also gonna see the Quintessons, which I'm pretty sure will be the main villains, and probably what the main force that's taking over Cybertron. So seeing that, I feel like we are going to eventually see them revolt. I think that's gonna be it. They're gonna revolt against the Quintessons, and that's when Megatron's gonna have his separate ways of doing stuff, and then Orion Path is gonna like object and all that shit. So yeah. Speaking of that, there are some changes. I kind of just glossed over it, but thing is, okay, so I don't know how long this movie is gonna be. So they're gonna have to fit all those characters in here, and also Starscream and all that shit. So maybe this is like an hour and 30. They're gonna fit all those characters in here and try to do all of that, but like there's a lot of characters here, and I hope they don't misuse them. Like a lot of Transformers stories misuse characters by just making them like names that they're just kind of there. So yeah, I hope that we don't see that happen here. So just saying. But the thing I mentioned about Optimus and Orion Path is that he now has the same origin as Megatron. He is from the mines, and that's very cool. I like that. I don't mind. I do prefer the librarian part where Megatron is from the lower ranks and rises to the highest rank, and he is just as power hungry or like has as much power as the Cybertron government. And Orion Pax is from higher up. He's a librarian, but he is now the underdog of the war, trying to fight for what is right and what he believes is right. So I like that juxtaposition, but I feel like this one's also interesting because we see how different they go from the same point. And that's very cool, and I do like that. So I mean it's cool. Like there's not much to put it. I like this. Like it's cool to see them come from the same part and then evolve into separate, with separate ideologies, separate people, separate ideologies, and that makes them like that makes them even closer as like brothers and stuff. That's cool. I like where they're going with this. So yeah, no, I like where so that's my main thing. I like where they're going with this movie, but it has to work. There are things here that can push it down. So I hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, what do you guys think about the trailer for Transformers 1? Leave in the comments below. For all of our socials, you can follow us on. It's all on our channel page. For me, Mercury, it's at MercurySC on YouTube, Wattpad, AO3, fanfiction.net, Mercury Yes Cheese on Twitter, and Mercury C Cheese on Twitch. So yeah, that's about it. See ya.